All right, let's get this party started. Friday, April 17th. Lots of action pre-market already. I've not seen this level of large activity pre-market in quite some time. It's pretty impressive. And most of it is coming in on the sell side. We had more come in at 125. I screwed that up. So I'm trying to mark these levels at which all the large orders are coming in at, but it's very hard to keep up. Like on a normal day, this would be easy to keep up. But this morning, it seems pretty difficult. I mean, they're selling on the way down, pretty large. One, two, three. Oops. So yeah, I feel like I'm just going to be marking lines all morning if I keep this up. It's going to be distracting. Oh, of course that got moved. See, how annoying is this? All right, you know what? We are not going to be able to keep up with this morning. All right, so our cash session is open. Trying to zoom out here a little bit and keep things in perspective this morning. But I mean, looking at the large transactions this morning, I mean, it's been pretty relentless, especially at 7135. A bunch of sellers came in here, got absorbed, but were able to flip it below. So this is definitely some sort of line in the sand here today. See all these large transactions right here at 7135. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't want to get predictive this morning. I mean, we're pretty far ways off from yesterday's range. Yesterday's cash session range topped off at 90, essentially 790. So we're a good 30 points above that right now. So a couple of big buyers down here at 7123 and 122. Right here. But I don't want to be too anxious this morning. Let's see where the flow takes us a little bit this morning. See what kind of range develops. See where the volume wants to take price. And that volume coming in around 7127, 7128, suppressing price. No signs of large sellers or anything. But you did have a large seller here right at the bottom. And you had a large seller here, 121, 123.75. So you had some large sellers right at the bottom. But I want to see what comes in large size after the cash open. So the volume that's coming in is suppressing price a bit. A little too early to start thinking about any potential position entry. I don't know if Trump is tweeting or giving statements. The Iran blockade is to remain in effect. The Strait of Hormuz is completely open, according to Trump and Iran, which is good news for oil flows. And oil is down 11% this morning. We're down to $84 a barrel, which is good news for the American consumer for sure. So large buyer at 25, right there. Getting signs of the absorption. When the volume comes in, it's still suppressing price here towards the top of the distribution. I don't want to narrowly focus in on each single print of volume until we get a little clearer as to whether or not we want to take positions. I'm going to go dump out my coffee real quick. Be right back. And we're back. Still nothing in terms of large size outside the buys at 125 and 123.75. Down here. Slightly drifting up in the range. But we're getting absorption up here towards the top of the range. Again, the 7135 is probably going to be a little bit of a line in the sand. There's a lot of volume that came in pre-market at 7135. Volume's coming in, still lifting price. So buyers are trying to push through the divergence here a little bit. A lot of activity on the offer here. Volume gets a little lighter as you get higher. The U.S. considers $20 billion cash for a uranium deal with Iran. Why would we pay them for their uranium? Just give it to us, or we destroy your country? I mean, but now you want to pay them? Okay. All right, so volume coming in, sellers coming in, pushing price down a little bit. Coming up on this 7135 level. We've had buyers at 123.75, 125, and now 130. Let's see what happens once we get up this 7135. A bunch of volume comes in at 7135 and starts pushing things down. Maybe we start considering add-in position. But all that was pre-market, so we got to discount that fact a little bit. This 930, there was only one large sell at 7119.75, right at the lows. All right, so let's see what happens. We're resisting 7135, but we've seen buyers come up as far as 7130. I'll be interested to see if the top of the value range holds. All right, can we rotate back into value? I don't think you can long this. I mean, the only divergence that we've broken through this morning is some minor sell side divergence. And we don't want to see if large sells come in here at 7135. We haven't seen it yet. It's still buyers up to 7130. So playing pretty loose with the value area high, it seems like. Wasn't a very quick rejection out of the area. You're kind of just hovering in it when the volume comes in. So volume seems to just be holding and not very cleanly rejection. So more buyers coming in at 7132. So buyers at 7130 and 7132. This volume here. If we struggle to make it back in this value range and we keep on rejecting on some pretty good volume coming in, I mean, even though you're getting some divergence on the sell side here, we've already broken through it once. There's no big players coming in to sell this, it doesn't look like. Still mostly all buyers, 7130, 7132. But you want a quick snapback out of this. Yesterday's range was fairly balanced. Yeah, you're coming back in here. Volume's pushing you back down into the value range. Yeah, you don't get the immediate rejection out. So we're a little mixed on the order flow signals at the moment. I mean, we had large sellers coming in at 7135 pre-market. Sellers stepped in again here post-open, but they didn't do it with size. All size has been on the buy side essentially since the open. And they started buying at 2375. So here, and then they bought all the way up to 32. So right here in the middle of the range. So we'll see if we get more large activity on the buy side in the same area. I mean, it's very decent sizes, but this also could be just Friday and they're using the liquidity to roll down their positions. That could be quite possible. I mean, it is Friday. You're not taking a positional directional trade right here. This is mostly you just exiting positions that you had on for this week. So no additional activity since 938 with the buys at 7132. Sellers are coming in, pushing price even lower. Doesn't seem to be any resistance on behalf of buyers here. So all the large transactions have been buy side. All divergence has been on the sell side. We've seen no buy side divergence yet this morning. And be patient. No need to jump into no major economic releases this morning. Iran negotiations are going on or discussions or something. So we can expect some news headlines today, potentially. It's Friday. Markets tend not to trend on Friday. They tend to be more balanced ranges. But I mean, this market has just been so wild this week. Who the hell knows? Oh, bless me. A lot of sneezing. So trying to make it down towards the value area low, getting hung up at the POC at 27.5. And I think this is going to be more of a range trade opportunity rather than any sort of trend day, I would believe. And I think there would be pressure on the sell side today because we've had such a run up this week that people are going to want to take profits before weekend headlines could potentially just destroy their position. So I got to imagine there's going to be some sell side activity today, people unwinding positions. And there does seem to be a good amount of sell pressure here. I'm sorry about the car noises or anything that you can pick up. I got the window open today. So volume coming in at the value area low, pushing things higher. I mean, you still get the flashes of the seller divergence. The volume as of this moment seems to be holding up price here at 27, 28 area. Volume came in here, held up price. Volume held price here. Volume held price here. So I want to see what happens as we try to push outside of value here. Because, I mean, this was a pretty quick rejection on some good volume. And we said, like, the volume seems to be changing here, where the volume comes in and pushes price higher. So a couple attempts to rotate lower weren't able to do it. Yeah, as I'm, like, considering going long here at 28. Because this was pretty quick rejections down here. Like, the market didn't allow you to get below the POC at all, let alone towards out of value. So despite the large sells at 7135, despite some seller divergence coming in, that doesn't seem to be holding. I mean, you got some volume coming in here at 32, suppressing things. But maybe if we come down here to 28 again and we get the quick rejections and volume comes in and pushes price higher, I think we want to entertain starting a long position. And 27 down to 17, 20. So let's see what happens as we come down here, down towards 28 again. I mean, sellers are trying to sell this. But I mean, the story of this week has been, you know, sellers come in, but they can't freaking get anywhere. And we still have all the large transactions after the open that weren't on the open have been on the buy side from 25 to 30 to 32. So volume comes in, still kind of holding the price up, right? So I'm put a little something on there at 130. Turn off my fucking speakers. Stop at 20. Let's see what happens when we try to rotate back down to 30. So we're long at 30. We broke the last place that volume came in to suppress price. Now you're getting the buyer absorption. I want to chase this out of value and add to the position. But I mean, are we really going to trend today? So I don't want to like load up on a full position. All right, let's see how quickly that rejects, if it rejects at all. Is there news? Probably is. All right, give me a quick rejection. Yeah, we're gonna get stopped out of the core position at 120 probably. Yeah, that was quite a change in market behavior right there. All right, sellers just dump this. Large sells at 2350 and 25. So we get back above 25, they could be trapped. Buyer at 24. I want to get above 25. I want to get back in value. We get back in value. We're going to get stopped before we get there. We'll just leave it. Just let it be. Small loss. Yeah, see, it doesn't even rotate down there and it fills it anyway. It's kind of crazy. Like, it didn't even rotate into 7120 and it filled it anyway. It's fucking trade of 8, man. It's such garbage. More sellers at 21. More sellers at 20. So they sold down 23, 25, 23.50, 21.20. All right, let's just be patient. We're not going to chase this down. That was a very quick shift in the order flow, though. That came literally out of nowhere. I don't see any headlines as of yet as to what would have caused that. Now you're back into value. It's like son of a gun. And now all these sellers down here are absolutely just trapped. So I think we want to start buying again just because of that rejection off the lows like that. All the absorption, all the large cells are now underwater. Yeah, that sucks. That was enough volatility to get us out of the position. I think we're absolutely right. Buyer at 30.25. I want to get closer down to the value area low again before we get into another attempt here. I mean, sellers are active. They're not getting anywhere today. Like 26, 25 is a better entry than 28, 29s, man. But I don't know if we're going to be able to get back down there below this little volume at 27. We'll see. I mean, this is a pretty mean rejection of your lows, man. Seller at 30. But I mean, these people got fucked. That sold down here. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to even give us an entry. I would like for it to come back towards the PLC now. So, because now 28 is better than 31. Before 25 was better than 28, but now 28 is better than 31. And we were absolutely right about that. But that sudden injection of volatility just destroyed us. And that's what happens. Guy came back and hit the sell button. Man, I don't want this to like just do a super breakout right now without us. That'd be a little upsetting. Yeah, there's just sudden injections up here. Someone sold at 7,130 and it just absolutely got absorbed. Some large size sold at 7,130. And it was like right at the swing lows. Like I want to hide behind the POC if I can. I don't know if we're going to get back down there now though. There's a very strong, quick rejection off the lows. Yeah, kind of son of a gun. And volatility shook us right out of our position, and we had such a wide stop on a quarter position too. And that's just super annoying. That's the market sell. So volume coming in at the highs. Buyer at 135. You ugly son of a bitch. Yeah, now all sellers are absolutely underwater. I don't know if we get below 7135 here because this is that line in the sand from this morning. All the large sells pre-market. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get back into value. I would like to see us attempt to, but I don't want to chase price up here. Even though this is very bullish. This is bullish order flow. Volume's not doing a very good job of rejecting price. Buyers are diversion here, so they're willing to step in and absorb some of the sells. But maybe a quick test into value and a quick snap out of it, right? Down these swing highs. And then we'll go long again. But we might not get back down there. Buyers at 37. We had buyers at 35, buyers at 37. Struggling to get back into this range here. And we're hanging out towards the highs. Yeah, you're going to break. Probably going to break. Again, what I'm kind of waiting for is just a test back into the value area high, then a quick rejection out of it on some volume. That'll confirm to me that we have no desire to go back into this previous range here. All right, in this range right here. The low is at 134. So let's see a bunch of volume come in and quickly reject it out. You don't want really to accept back in this range. All right, kind of just like that. So I'll put a piece on here, 3650. Stop for now will be 2650. This is a precarious long quarter position, but the market did exactly what we were looking for it to do. Come back in, test the previous range near the value area high, volume come in and reject price pretty quickly, and it did exactly that. So I'm not going to add to a full half here just yet. And if this trade starts working, we'll take it from there. I mean, this market has been surprising me all week. I keep on saying like, oh, we can't trend again, but then you end up just trending again. So who knows? But 7135 is a pretty hard line in the sand this morning, I feel like. And the buyers at 7137 were automatically rejected. And we've now broken this previous level of high seller absorption at 7135. Now we're on the north side of it. So we'll see what the market can give us here, if it gives us anything. But the fact that we're just hanging up here, we're not quickly rejecting down, is just means that there's responsive selling, but it's not initiative selling. They're not taking prices back down into value. They're willing to meet you up here at 7138, but they're not willing to sell at 134 and below. At least not yet. And it's good again, buyer divergence at the highs. If we do another quick dip in and strong rejection out on volume, probably take it to a full half position. You're trying to break it out, but you're not really succeeding here, are you? You're just barely extending the range. I don't have a target for this because we're up in no man's land. There's no structure above us to really target or anything. So this is going to be purely dictated on order flow. We start seeing strong seller absorption, lots of volume coming in, suppressing price, any large orders. You got more buyers at 7140. So that's good. That's good for your long. There, now you get the little pop up. All right, so let's see what happens when we come out. So I will move my stop to 3.2 at least. Let's not choke it. We're in at 3650. We don't want to see it come back down in this range. All right, if it comes back down in this range, quickly rejects, strong volume comes in and lifts price again, I'll add. Stops at 32 on the quarter position. We're in at 3650. I mean, to come down here again would just would not be good for our trade. All right, so we'll come back into this range. You want to see volume come in and reject it. You want more volume to come in here. You're rejecting it, right? You're not coming back. You're not holding back in this range, but you want to see us close above this volume here. And then maybe we'll add another piece, tighten the stop a little bit. Yeah. And that's kind of what you want to see, but I don't want to chase price up here. So I'll put in another piece at 40. See if I can get another fill at 140. Which would take the average up to like 38 or something, but in at 36.50. Small position. Trying to add more at 7140 if we can. Seller at 40.75, but you had a buyer at 41, buyers at 40, buyers at 37, buyers at 35. Like they're buying this up. All sellers have just been underwater this morning. Large sellers pre-market at 135 just got annihilated. And some sellers got trapped at the lows. So not getting a real definitive break here. Let's see if we establish more range. I don't know if I want to add at 40 anymore. Yeah, I think I kind of do. And then we'll tighten the stop if we get an addition. Like for price to come down to 40 right now, be a little bearish. Hmm. 3650. I mean, coming back down to this range is not good. So we'll move the quarter stop to 136.75. All right, buyers are still willing to bid this up. So we're still long at 36.50. I tried to add at 140, didn't get it. Well, structurally, I'm trying to find a place that we can get back in, but we're not developing a good range for me to really target. At least not yet. Like the last good entry was down here at 39s, right in the top of this range. Came tested within the range, quickly rejected it. But now we need to establish some range that I can look to order flow and the test of those range extremes to get a better gauge of whether or not we can be adding positions or taking some off the table. All right, now I want to move the stop on the core position to 40. All right, just protect profits, trail this a little bit. And potentially another entry here at like 141 or something. I don't know. The market's just taking off again. At least we're on the right side a little bit here, which is good. Below this volume, trail the stop. This volume held price, this volume lifted price. Yeah, and where's this out? So we can do at least 141. I think we can hide behind this volume right here a little bit. 42, 50, 42 and a half. So that's what I would expect to hold. Buyers at 45, buyers at 41, buyers at 40. Volume's coming in, pushing price a little bit lower. Stop in the core position at 141 and at 36.50. I'm trying to add to this. If we get some structure I can trade, I need like a definitive low volume area that we test, quickly reject, where volume comes in and suppresses price to the high side. But these aren't very clean at the moment. And if I start adding all the way up here at 44, I feel like I'm going to need a tight stop on that portion. But like I don't get imbalance like trend day vibes from this. Like these aren't very low volume areas. It almost feels like the market's going to come back and fill this in, but I mean, I don't want to get too far ahead in predicting what the shape of a distribution is going to be like. We got to follow the volume. But I mean, there's no sign of sellers up here. None. The people are still buying. It's like, gosh darn. Next time, do a half position, bro. So this is more defined range, right? We're just kind of rotating back and forth in this range. So maybe I want to see a test outside this range to the low side a little bit. That quickly rejects and goes back in. Or it's just going to keep running without us. I'm going to keep trailing the stop. I'm going to move it to... I got to allow it to test outside that range a little bit. 143. Jeez, Louise. I mean, these markets are absolutely incredible this week. Absolutely incredible. And so now we don't, hopefully it doesn't come back into this range. Now we can tighten the stop even farther. 44 at least. If not 45. 45. Right, because we defined a little bit of a range right here. So if bulls are super serious about defending this, they're not going to let it get far into this range. They'll quickly snap it back out. 145 is a little bit of a tight stop. I'm not going to lie. Because you have to allow the market to test back within the prior range a little bit. But we let profits run. If the market just wants to run, let it run, man. Don't fucking get in the way of a fucking goddamn train. Like the buy-ins, this has been so crazy. Buying has just been so ridiculous this week. I'm here for it, baby. The market wants to run, let it run. So stop is still at 45. I just thought about moving it. And that quick little rejection right there. Go to 46. Like the higher we get, this run is just, look at this. This is just a straight up move. This is a straight up move. No chance to enter any additional positions. Like I honestly think we can get stopped out at 46 and then this market still goes higher. Right, comes down here and tests the bottom of this range here, 44, 45, and then just shoots higher still. Could be. But we're getting some volume coming in and it's rejecting, it's holding price. Buyers are willing to meet this higher. So, I mean, stop at 46. I feel like this is a precarious addition if we want to add here at 47. It's unbelievable. Good thing we're not repeatedly trying to short this. But I mean, look at the large orders, man. Just they continue to come in. You got size at 50, 50 and 3/4, 48. 48 got absorbed a little bit. Like, I don't know. Maybe we do add at 48. We're defining some more range. We're hanging out towards the top of the range. Again, no signs of bearish order flow here. This is just all just nonstop fucking bullishness. Nonstop bullishness. So like I'm willing to keep the stop at 46, right? Because we want to see if 48 holds. And so it could easily dip below 48 a little bit and snap back up. If it does that, if we try to come back into this previous range without hitting 46 and snap back up, yeah, I think I want to add a little bit with a very tight stop. Because how much is the market? Market's up 1% from close of yesterday. It's not too crazy. Yeah, it's going to break higher, man. Look at the divergence. You're coming at the highs. You're not quickly rejecting this. The volume that comes in isn't necessarily pushing price down a ton, right? You're responsive, but you're not taking the initiative to drive it lower. I want to see what happens here a little bit. I don't want to add unless we get a test lower that gets quickly rejected. I want to have a little more confidence to add, especially when we're at the highs of the daily range. It's just, I don't know if we're going to get it. So still no large transactions on the sell side up here. All still buyers, 151, 50 and 3/4, 50, 48, 48, 45. There's been lots of buying activity up here. But you don't want to see this gradual trying to break up this range. Like, this is a pretty definitive range. You don't want to see it just slowly try to break it and then fail to do so, because that means the range is no good. Yeah, I'm gonna move the stop to 48. Jeez, please, market. Yeah, this is full of precarious longs now because you haven't had really good structure to add and get long behind. It's just kind of this straight run up. There's no real definitive pullbacks within a range, right? This is our entry right here at 36.5 because of this. Defined a range, attempted to break out of the range back into the previous range and quickly rejected on volume. Like, that is bread and butter right there. But like this right here is just it's getting a little precarious. And I want to start tightening stops. Move to 49. Sellers at 52. Strong selling at 52. Right when you tried to break out of range, right when you came back into it, it was met with sellers. Yeah, we're going to get stopped out at 49. That may be the top for this little bit of a run. It's not to say we don't take another stab at a long if we get stopped out here, but the break of this range, heavy sellers here at 52, and now we're back in the range. You're probably going to test outside this range next to the downside, which is fine. So maybe we'll try to sell it at 50. Oh, buyer stepping in. Hold it, baby. Hold it. I don't think he will, though. So I'll limit 50.5. All right, stop that. Whoa, don't get short, please. All right, so clean exit at 149. Good trade. In at 36.5 up to 149. So 13-point trade. We'll take it. We will take it. Let's see if we can't get another little something something today. A quick rejection here of 48s. Right. Yeah, I mean, that was probably the ad zone right there. All right, I'll try to put on another piece of 50. I'm going to be very slow because we're near the highs, man. Like, he had selling pressure coming in at 52. I'm not chasing this higher. I want the market to rotate back down for an entry. But this is like the range right here, right? And you tested the low side of the range, heavy volume came in and lifted price back into the range again. So despite the heavy selling at 152, I still think this is a good trade. We'll do a very tight stop. Very tight stop. 150 to 145. I mean, honestly, the stop could just be 147, 146 probably. But I want a rotation lower to fill. I don't want to chase this up. Sellers are being responsive. They're not taking the initiative to sell lower. They tried a little bit right here and it did not work out for them. We might not get filled at 150. But I don't want to be too greedy here. We had a pretty good trade right there, 13 points. I mean, this probably does break higher again. We're kind of getting a little stuck in this range here. All right, so in at 150, stop at 45, tight stop. In fact, make it 146. Because that would be back in this range. And we're saying like this range is going to hold. So we'll trail this one aggressively, probably. Just because we're up so close to the highs. We'll probably do like 5-point increments. We extend these highs, we get to 155, we'll go to break even. We don't want to really tolerate losses now. These are chased highs. But it's what the order flow is telling us to do. $150. And so buyers 52 3/4, buyers at 53. No more sellers at 52. So they're going to be underwater in a minute too if we can hold above 52. Seller diversions, not ideal. Yeah, let's be aggressive with the stop, I think. Yeah, 15 1/4. Aggressive, because we're at like we're getting long right near the highest of the distribution. We're far outside value. Order flow still says to be long, but based off the structure and where we're getting in at, I mean, it's just precarious. So 15 1/4 is a tight stop. I will gladly admit that. There's a chance that you get another pop out of this range because you're not quickly rejecting these highs at all. This is something I'm probably not going to add to. The sellers are a little too active up here. And if we get stepped out at 15 1/4, that's fine. All right, we're going to get stopped out. Let's see volume come in and push it up, push it up, push it up, push it up. Yeah, we're being very aggressive with our stop on this one. But just because our entry is so high in this distribution, man. Yeah, all right. So out at 15 1/4. So probably did not pay transaction costs on that one. It's okay. So let's just see what happens now a little bit. Let's be a little patient. We might have reached the top of the distribution for the day. Yeah, it came right down to the bottom of the range and then volume came in and lifted it right back up. Yeah, I mean, we were very aggressive with the stop. Very aggressive. We got on the underside of this upper distribution, which is good. And watch it now. It stops us and now it's going to break. That's what the market does. It likes to tease you a little bit. So just hanging out in this range here. Hanging out. Quite a big gap from Thursday to Friday's trade. Still no signs of large sellers up here outside the ones that sold at 52 earlier, like 10 minutes ago. But we've had buyers since then. Still getting more flashes of the divergence. Like you're not very quickly rejecting the bottom of these ranges. You're rejecting it, but it's not been crazy. And you're rejecting the upper bounds of this range. This could just range here. We could just fill in now. I would want to see something pretty definitive before we take any additional positions. I don't think he short this at all. There's been no institutional sell side activity today outside the ones I got trapped at the lows again. Down below 7,120. Wow. Look at that, folks. Look at that. That is bullish. $150 tight stop. So we'll try it again at 150. Because that is a strong move down, like I heavily absorbed. We're not going to get in, but we would have been stopped out on our original stop if we kept it at 46 and 45. But that's a pretty strong rejection. Give me a fill, baby. Give me a fill. Oh, come on. You rotated into 150 on ES. Did you? No, not really. See if we can get filled at 150. Motherfucker. Like you rotated into 150, you just didn't get filled. And now getting the impression you're going to snap the top of this range, at least a little bit. Ay caramba. We missed the entry by a tick, folks. Missed the entry by a tick. Don't be a dick for a tick, as they like to say. Yeah, it's going to break. Yeah. All right, I'll cancel the limit order at 7,150 unless we get rotation down and another rejection. Gosh darn it. Yeah, good reads, though. I mean, we're reading the market well. Just wish we had more profits to show for it. So seller at 53, buyer at 53 and a quarter. Pretty large seller at 53, though. 500 contracts. Like they're absorbing the buys, but like they don't continue lower. And it seems there's plenty of people willing to buy here for some reason. Solar divergence. So I mean, it's a little bit of a battle around this distribution node at 151 for sure. You gotta keep the news open. Iran is removing all sea mines with the help from the US. Yeah, we're all like buddies now. Oh, limit at 151. Stop at 46. I swear it's rotating into my entries, but I'm not getting filled. All right, and at 151, another precarious long. Rotations down here get quickly rejected. The bottom of the range, volume comes in, pushes price higher. I have not seen a lot of sell activity. And we'll be probably aggressive with the stop again, because we're so high in the distribution. But I still think we break this range here. If we break this range definitively, come back on a retest and hold it and reject it, it's an add. But right now it's not a half position because where we are in the distribution. We don't really want to see any large sellers come in here either. Don't want to see any diversions. Buyers, diversion higher. That's good. Again, in at 51. Tight stop down to 46. Like I almost want to do a 5-point trail and move the stop to 48. But I'm worried about like a sudden volatility injection that spikes our trade, and our trade is still thesis is still valid. This is still a very valid trade thesis based off this order flow and based off the action that you're getting, trying to break the lower balance of this little distribution here around 151. Anytime you get in this little volume area, it's quickly rejected. Volume comes in and quickly rejects price. You're not quickly rejecting these highs. You just kind of hover right below them. That's breakout territory. But because we're so high in this distribution, the run up we've had so far already, I don't want to commit to like a full half position just yet. And the most I'm willing to commit before the trade starts working is a half position. I don't commit a full position if the trade's not working yet. What I want to see is a snap, an attempt to come back, volume comes in and rejects this, and then I add. Yeah, I mean, fuck. That's not what you want to see at all. Stop at 151. Not at all. You want to see it reject this right now. I don't want to cover transaction costs at 51 and 25. It's a little too tight. You need to close above this volume, please. That was a pretty quick rejection of that. We broke out of this range and it very quickly rejected on volume coming in. So the trade's probably not good anymore. I just kind of want to exit at 52 and a half. Yeah, 151 on the exit. Okay, that's fine. So 2 scratches up here. We're being overly aggressive and tight with our stops. Overly aggressive. We're only accepting the best breakout possible, and we're just not getting it. I mean, we keep rejecting this. And it sucks that I keep entering and just getting stopped. I don't want to keep doing this and just paying commission fees. So ideally, I would like to see another attempt to lower to get a better price on the entry. I don't want to keep chasing here at 151. We're getting too much overlap here. Or if I keep on entering here, we're just going to keep on getting stopped out on a tight stop. Doesn't make sense to just keep on trying to push that. And that was not a good sign of what it did right there. The test outside the range and quickly rejected. I mean, that was really quick. That wasn't a hangout and then, come back down. But no large cells. We'll see what happens. All right, I'm going to go use the restroom real quick. And then watch this thing now break. And we're gonna cuss ourselves for putting our stop so tight. That's okay though. Yeah, that's heavy absorption, man. I mean, we've had buyers at 53 and a quarter, we've had buyers at 154, and they're just getting absorbed. Pretty large divergence. I don't know if we can get outside this range. It's not a sell though. I don't think. I don't want to sell this in hopes that like you now then are able to start breaking buyers. Like it's just responsive selling. Yeah, just we're now kind of creating more range here, right? Now like the kind of the range high is here, range low is down here. All right, we're getting a little loose with where the range high is, and that's not a good sign. That's not good compression for a strong move higher. So yeah, we're just hanging out on top of this distribution, top of the range. Could be the top for the day. I mean, sellers are coming in pretty heavy here at 155. Not in terms of heavy contracts, but I mean they're absorbing everything that gets thrown at it up here. But people are still buying. Kind of crazy. Probably know something that we don't. No big surprise there. And then you get the goddamn little snap out. So let's see what happens here. Maybe when you come back down towards 54 and 55. We try to come back down to this range, resist. Yeah, see now you're kicking yourself for the tight stops at 151, you idiot. Oh well. Yeah. So if this breakout is serious, you'll probably hold 55. Oh, son of a gun. Like we call it, but we gotta agree with our stop because we're so high in the distribution. It's called being a scaredy cat, folks. It's called being a scaredy cat. Yeah, gosh darn. Gosh darn it. It would have been a nice little sweet trade again. Damn, but reading the market really well. Reading the market extraordinarily well, just not capitalizing on it as much as I would really like to. Bow, 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 bow. and just more buyers all the way up to 160. 160 was the last large buy. They bought up at 53 and a quarter. They bought up at 54. Wow. What a market, folks. What a market. Can't be wrong if you're long. Can't be wrong if you are long. My goodness. No, they don't have it. Two of them? Or is it just the one? Oh, they're 120 a piece. Maybe we should see price. It's not folks. So, like my future trading, I do not chase Pokemon prices. I want really to come back down towards 55. Honestly, on top of this prior range, this would be a good area to test. If you quickly reject that, then add some more longs. Can't go wrong if you're long. Or someone once said somewhere in the world. Bow, 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 bow. Mm-hmm. 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 You're gonna break the highs again. Crazies. Just absolutely relentless this morning. Absolutely relentless. I give it up. It's Friday, folks. It's Friday. I have my headphones in. I forgot. Chicka bow bow. Yeah, I don't think there's anything less left for us to really do today. I don't know what these people are up to. Yeah, it's bam, bam, bam. Yeah, 1040. It doesn't look like market is going to give us the retracement that we're looking for down to 55. We're trying to establish a new range up here. But I mean, look at that price move today, folks. Again, crazy. Crazy. What happened to my... There we go. What was I looking up? I was going to look something up because I don't foresee a trade in my future. Oh my God, market. Is that would just blow off top? Could be. Could be, folks. Was that news driven? We'll see. Could be. We'll see what happens here. Wow, what a market, man. What a market. But this isn't a short. This is, and these people are just buying. Trump, Iran has agreed to never close the Strait of Hormuz again. That should kill oil prices. It doesn't really seem to be killing oil prices. Down 14% on the day. Yeah, it's all just bullish Iranian news. I mean, they can agree to all they want, whether or not they actually do it. Yeah, I never would do it again. And then they just do it again. JK. Just kidding. Yeah, I don't know where you come down now for an entry. Maybe the top of this range is 64. Yeah, it's just like, no. Yeah, we got greedy with our entries at 51. Tightened the stop too quickly. That would have been a good trade too. Oh well. Oh well. But nothing but buyers. Relentless today. Relentless. We had a really good trade earlier. Now we're just sitting here twiddling our thumbs, hoping for some sort of pullback to get in behind. But this market is just going in one direction only. Not going to give you the entry that you're looking for. Not going to do it. You don't want to push things too much. Trump, Iran agreed to everything. Yeah. We will make Lebanon great again. Hilarious. Hilarious. And plenty of buyers still up at 170. You got absorbed finally. Last absorption buy was at 148. Hilarious. Hilarious. Yeah, there's not going to be another trade for us today. I think we're pretty much done. I think I'm willing to conclude it here. It's Friday. It's 10:45. Somewhat profitable day. Just I have to check the reports to see how profitable. I don't think it was very much, but any profitable day is a good day. So All right, folks. Hope you all have a great weekend. God bless you. Work hard. And I will see you bright and early Monday morning, probably a few minutes before 9:30.